A sold-out house ready to provide an electric atmosphere in Omaha, Nebraska, as the Creighton Blue Jays are back home to take on the Butler Bulldogs. Why is this crowd so energized? Because the Creighton Blue Jays have a chance at a conference championship. Just a game behind Seton Hall with the day starting. Butler at 7-7, looking for win number 20 on the year and solidifying their spot in the NCAA tournament. A lot to play for as we welcome you inside the CHI Health Center alongside Nick Baugh. I'm Kevin Kugler. Not only a lot to play for, but one of the best guard matchups in all of college basketball.
Two big-time players on both sides. You have Tyshawn Alexander, Kamar Baldwin, and Alexander has been a defensive stopper in conference play. Done a good job neutralizing Marcus Howard and Miles Powell, but Baldwin's built a little bit different. Not as many screens. He's going to be running through off the ball. He's got a great mid-range game. That matchup is going to loom large, and certainly Baldwin needs to play well because he's the most important Bulldog.
Was 0 for 9 in the first half in the first meeting. Ended up with 20 points. Our starting lineup sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. And when you look in the backcourt, that's where it all starts with the Creighton Blue Jays, Alexander, Zegorowski, and Balak. But Aaron Thompson back in the lineup again for Butler usually means good things for the Bulldogs.
Absolutely. And talk about the best offensive backcourt in the conference in Creighton. I think the best defensive backcourt is Butler with Aaron Thompson and Kamar Baldwin.
We are ready for this one. What a way to spend your Sunday afternoon in Omaha, Nebraska. A top 25 matchup as two teams battle not only for Big East position, but NCAA tournament seeding. A lot on the line here. Butler won the first meeting 71-57. That was in early January at Hinkle Fieldhouse. Here's Balak. Off a screen, rolls around for a three, and a real good sign for Creighton early because he's struggled of late.
Yeah, he's been getting defended at a really high level, and that's a tough shot. And that was something LaVall Jordan told us he was most concerned about, was running the Blue Jay shooters off the three-point line.
The entry to Bryce Enzi backs it out. A three from Bryce Golden trying to answer, and the long rebound caroms out of bounds to Creighton.
Hey, Kevin, there's not a whole lot you can do with this. I mean, McDermott's right in the hip pocket. That's a pin down, one dribble, good footwork, knock it down. you want to make, you can't give Balak any clean, good looks. But when you're a shooter like that, you can get anything to go down.
Here's Christian Bishop running to the rim for a two-hand stop. 5-0 start for the Blue Jays.
And I like where Butler tried to go on their first possession into the post to Enzi. That was an area that Greg McDermott was really concerned about, was a steady diet of post touches for the Butler bigs.
Baldwin leaving for McDermott. His three up and down. Boy, Sean McDermott's game just grown exponentially as this season's gone on, averaging 12 points per game, continuing to provide a real lift for Butler.
I think McDermott's the ultimate barometer for Butler. When he plays well, Butler plays well.
Balak, three again. This time the rebound off the miss from Enzi.
So I think pace is going to be crucial. I think Butler wants to control tempo with long offensive possessions. Don't want to get into a track meet with Creighton, especially here in Omaha.
And they were effective doing that at Hinkle, weren't they?
Absolutely.
Entry pass into the post taken away by Christian Bishop. Long and athletic sophomore got his hands on that one.
Urgency for Butler to get back in transition, find the shooters. Crucial.
Zegorowski, he's one of those shooters, and he gets the home rim roll.
You got two mid-range guys in this game. Baldwin loves the mid-range jumper. Zegorowski's good in that 15 to 18-foot area, stop and pop.
They're part of a continually dwindling club of mid-range shooters in a college game. Here is Kamar Baldwin.
And look how far Zegorowski is off of Thompson. He's got 2 feet in the lane. Something to keep an eye on here this afternoon.
Enzi working his way inside. A little bobble, falls down, scooped up by the Blue Jays. Damian Jefferson on the push, hanging in the air. That shot short, and Butler really dodging a bullet there. Thompson, floater from the elbow, the tip by Enzi up and in.
I think Enzi's a guy that has to play well for Butler. There's an advantage. Creighton, not a big team. You got an advantage with Enzi down there.
Butler's out-rebounded 19 of their 27 opponents this year, but only once in the last 4 games. 10 on the shot clock. Attacking from the outside, the lob.
What a play from Ballard. Understand he's going to get run off the line and have the vision and control to get the lob up to Bishop, and that's something that Bishop does really well. He's not a big guy, but he's a quick vertical athlete that can get those lobs at the rim.
Aaron Thompson with the ball. See that left wrist still taped. He missed 3 games with that wrist injury. Missed a couple of games ago with a concussion. Thompson, though, big part of their defensive plan, and he can provide a little offense as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's just their point guard ball handler. He takes pressure off of Baldwin in terms of playmaking, and a lot of Butler's swoon has coincided with Thompson not playing because he can do stuff just like that.
Little finger wag for the Butler bench after that block.
I love Thompson. I think he is an outstanding lead guard. Great leader. I mean, he does everything well. The only thing he doesn't do is shoot the 3.
He originally was headed to Pitt, then ended up at Butler. They're happy to have him as we've reached our first media timeout.
Well, we know about the Blue Jay guards, but the Blue Jay bigs have really started to play well. Bishop rocking the rim here in Omaha.
Back in Omaha, where FS1 College Hoops is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. A 9-7 start for the home team over the Butler Bulldogs. 15:41 remaining in the first half. Nick Bott, Tyshawn Alexander, explosive offensive player. He's become the best defensive player on the team.
Well, and not just the team. He's in the Defensive Player of the Year for the Big East conversation. And look at that effort. Being able to get switched on to Enzi, fight the dribble, knock the ball free. There is such a thing as defensive confidence, and I think that's something that jumps off the tape when you watch Alexander. He is really taking pride in what he's doing on that end of the floor, and that confidence is growing.
We had the Creighton, Oklahoma game early in the year, non-conference season on FS1, and we were talking with Greg McDermott at that time, and he joked about the defensive prowess of this Creighton program, and that's always been sort of thought of as an afterthought for Creighton fans and others when they look at Creighton. Offense first. But this has become a better defensive team almost week to week in this season.
Yeah, no one's going to confuse them with the bad boys Pistons or anything like that, but this team's played with the collective toughness and fight on the defensive end of the floor that has been increased from years past.
With their offense, you don't need a ton of defense. Rolling to the rim. It's Calvin Jones on the run.
That empty side pick and roll, so there's nobody in the corner. So the roll man is all by his lonesome, and you got a guy in Alexander who's going to attract attention, easy read and find.
Just the 27th point that Calvin Jones has scored since December 3rd. Ball knocked free again. Creighton defense stepping up. Possession arrow will keep it on this end of the floor with 14:50 remaining in the first half.
Something to watch as we take a look at Laval Jordan is how much the ball goes into the post and what Creighton does when that ball goes into the post. I know Greg McDermott's initial plan was to not come with a double team, but there could be some adjustments on deck.
And the offensive foul as McDermott picks up his first, sends it back the other way to Creighton.
Creighton doesn't have rim protection in terms of shot blocking, but what they do have is guys that are willing to set their feet and take a charge, and that's another way to defend the rim.
Denzel Mahoney taking that charge there. Jones with the screen for Zegarowski. Now Tyshawn Alexander. His 3 just off the edge of the rim, and Bryce Enzi skying for the rebound. Here comes Thompson looking to push if he can. McDermott trailing for 3. And the offensive rebound for Bryce Golden is taken away. Zegarowski working against McDermott. Turns the corner. Out it goes to Mahoney. 3 is short. And the Jays early, 1 for 3 from behind the arc.
It's a huge part of today's sequences like that. Butler getting back, stopping Creighton in transition.
Jays were just 4 for 22 from deep in the loss at Hinkle in January. Enzi into the paint. Look at that defense collapse on Enzi. Loses it, gets it back, and it's going the other way. A foul on Bryce Enzi.
You see how many white jerseys were in the paint? So there isn't necessarily a double team coming, but there's multiple guys digging in on Enzi. And you've seen that quite a bit. There's been a lot of loose balls in the paint with Creighton having active hands. But I still like the ball going into Inzi. I think you have to continue to play through the post. I think you can have kick-out opportunities as long as Inzi hangs on to the rock.
Jordan Tucker, Henry Badley on the floor now for Butler. Tucker, the 6'7" transfer from Duke. Junior out of White Plains, New York. He's had some big moments this year for this team. Zegarowski turn in the corner, gets to the rim, but can't finish there. And Kamar Baldwin with the rebound.
Job by Bryce Inzi. Got switched onto Zegarowski and fought the dribble.
Baldwin still looking for his first shot, first points of this ball game. Here's Tucker. He's been in doubles 11 times this year. He's averaging 9 points per game. Long and strong, but an errant pass and a turnover to Zegarowski. Zegarowski running against Badley. The kick into the corner to Alexander. Balak thought about it. Zegarowski will fire and hit.
That's what Creighton's tough. You think we're out there on Alexander's first kick-out three, and then you're out there for Balak on the second kick-out three. But that ball keeps on moving, and usually it ends up in a pretty good shooter's hands.
Already 6 Butler turnovers, none for Creighton. 5 Creighton steals. A couple of games ago against DePaul, they had 18 steals as Badley hits the three. Henry Badley, could he be the X factor today for Butler?
Needs someone to step up, one of the role guys to knock down some shots for Butler.
Only one game in double figures this year. That was against Marquette on January 24th. Walk off with that three. Rebound by Kelvin Jones. Second chance for Creighton. Zegarowski's three.
That's a heck of a play from Kelvin Jones. And that's his role. Wedge in, backside, kick out, bang.
Point advantage for the Blue Jays. Crowd alive in Omaha. Baldwin pwned in the dribble with Jones stepping out on him. 10 on the shot clock. Kamar Baldwin going to try to go to work. Gets a screen from Inzi. From the elbow. Jumper off the heel. And Balak will start it the other way. 8 first-half points for Zegarowski. He's looking to get involved again. Mahoney on the baseline, a foul and a timeout, and the Jays getting a little momentum.
Kelvin Jones with an outstanding offensive rebound, kick out, extra pass. Marcus Zegarowski buries it, and the crowd loving it here for the home Blue Jays.
Blue Jays have opened up a 5-point lead a moment ago. Greg McDermott in the Creighton huddle.
They really load to the dribble, so we got to move it. All right, instead of trying to hold it, especially if we get it moved and then get off the top, somebody filled, we get it reversed. Now they're in closeouts. All right, and we got to find McDermott a few times. That trailer is coming down and getting him and hitting Mitch. We got to be ready to load to that.
Well, Creighton's been pretty locked in defensively. Some reminders there in dealing with McDermott trailing in transition situations. But when Creighton's gotten stops, they've had good opportunities in transitions. And when you have multiple shooters defensively, you got to make multiple efforts. You stop Alexander, you stop Ballin, but you don't get sorted out. And there's Zegarowski all by himself. And Creighton's an unselfish team, and that ball is going to find the open man. Pretty good transition unselfishness from Creighton.
Greg McDermott's had some good ones in his tenure, over 10 years at Creighton. This may be his best team. Remains to be seen, but this is shaping up to be perhaps the best he's had here.
Creighton's just the hottest team in the Big East right now. Playing with confidence, playing with a free mind.
Christian Bishop, nowhere to go. Kicks it out to Mahoney, who hits the three. Largest lead for the Blue Jays at 8.
Poised for Butler now. Got to quit turning the ball over. 6 turnovers for the Bulldogs already. Got to be a little bit more solid with the rock.
More turnovers than made field goals as Thompson left that well short. Here comes Creighton on the push. Alexander's pass into Mahoney, tipped away. Good defense by Butler. Spins it around Alexander. Reverse on the baseline. Not going to go. And Tucker with the rebound. Push ahead. Badly. Jays by 8 as Butler goes back to work.
This guy's got to get going. Baldwin's got to get to his spots, his mid-range, get into a rhythm and flow.
And to shoot. Bishop popping out to show. Deep three for Tucker is short. Long rebound. Tipped around. Here comes Bad.
Out of bounds off the Blue Jays. Checking in for Butler, number 22, Sean McDermott. In for Tyshawn Alexander, number 23, Damian Jefferson, returning to the lineup. Also in for Butler, number 10, Bryce Enzi. He replaces Henry Badley.
Curl by Baldwin. Here's McDermott. Touch pass. Enzi. An extra pass too many. The turnover. A little bobble. Bishop. Had it slip away and stepping out of bounds. A turnover back to Butler.
Just sloppiness for Butler.
Back into the Jays, number 11, Marcus
active. Take another look at. I was out of there, man. I had one hand ready to slow down Harry Badley if he went airborne.
I didn't even move. I mean, look at me. I'm just ready.
It's you.
Yeah, that's bravery.
I've gotten hit on the basketball court one too many times.
Brave indeed.
Yeah. Baldwin just got one to go down. Good curl.
And Baldwin's second opportunity in as many tries goes awry. Here comes Zagorowski. Balak. The three at the top. That's off. And the rebound to Bryce Enzi. Aaron Thompson. Working it around to Baldwin. Jumper from the top of the circle is good. A deep two for Kamar Baldwin.
And all things considered, Butler's turned it over a lot. It feels like Creighton's gotten whatever they wanted offensively in terms of quality of shots. But Butler's still only down 6.
And a whistle as Mahoney works around.
Butler foul number 10, Bryce Enzi, his second.
Back in comes
Butler team foul. In for Mitch Balak, number 5, Tyshawn Alexander. Henry Badley returns.
Henry Badley back in as well for Laval Jordan's squad. Jefferson, the kick out to Zagorowski. Now Bishop on the drive, floating. Badley with the rebound. And Nick Butler hasn't played a great first half, but they're down just 6.
No, I think all things considered, you got to feel pretty good about where you're at if you're Laval Jordan.
And now the Blue Jays back up the floor. Jefferson. Zagorowski on the curl, bumped. And back out it goes Jefferson. Rotation around to Mahoney with 12 on the shot clock. He'll fire the 3. And a rebound to Aaron Thompson, his second.
Well, you get the sense that Butler's starting to settle in defensively. And it can take a little bit dealing with Creighton's pace and all the screens and actions. And Butler's starting to find themselves on the defensive end of the floor.
Baldwin bumped a bit by Alexander. Shot clock down to 10. 5 to shoot. Baldwin step back 2 is good. Kamar Baldwin heating up. He's got 7.
That's his shot. Almost identical to the game winner he hit against Villanova. Loves that little step back jumper.
Mahoney on the baseline. That's a charge. And the offensive foul. His first, Creighton's second. And a timeout on the floor. Kamar Baldwin has the last 7 points for the Bulldogs as they've come roaring back in Omaha. Just a 4-point game in the Big East. Butler within 4, 6:41 remaining in the first half. A moment ago, Laval Jordan in the Butler huddle.
So we got to compete down there on the offense. We need a couple extra possessions, right? Way to get it back. It's 2-possession game. Right? Keep competing down here defensively now. Right? Good on makes, right? You got to fly back on makes and just get to a guy. Don't worry about who. Right? Get to a guy. Don't worry about who. Know who's in the game, right? 23, driver first, 4, driver first. Right? 34 is going for broke, so you got to mess with him.
Well, Butler, because of the turnover bug biting him a little bit, need to get the possessions back by crashing the offensive glass. So keep an eye on the Bulldogs really trying to get some offensive rebounds. And then defensively, a nice reminder there from Laval Jordan saying, listen, get back, just find a guy. You get scrambled and matched up accordingly later, but the most important thing is getting matched up right away in defensive transition.
That's one of the things we saw in that 3 from Zegarowski in the corner. Somebody didn't get matched up, and it resulted in an open 3.
Yeah, it's not always going to be perfect. I mean, but you have to get matched up.
McDermott with a 3, a little bit short. Butler trying to find its range from deep. 3 of 8 as a team. Creighton 5 of 11 to start from beyond the arc. Zegarowski has just hit his 3rd. He's got 11. And the Creighton Blue Jays reestablish a 7-point lead.
6 made threes for the Blue Jays. Just done a good job sharing the ball in finding open long-range jumpers.
Golden backs it out to Baldwin. 7 for Kamar Baldwin. Little floater is short, and the rebound tipped to Zegarowski. Up the floor quickly come the Jays. Jefferson pushes into the corner. Ballack, good feed to Jefferson, but Baldwin's hands better. He takes it away.
What a recovery from Kamar Baldwin.
Thompson driving in. He's blocked by Jones out of bounds to Creighton.
Aaron Thompson, not a good three-point shooter, so Zegarowski played way off him, but how about the hands from Kamar Baldwin? I mean, that is a layup erased because of the long arms and good hands of that guy right there.
Pretty good footwork, too. Not only do you get the ball, but you got to stay in bounds along that baseline. He'll get a breather right now with 5:25 to go in the first half. So this becomes a pivotal moment or two for Butler.
And usually when Kamar Baldwin goes out, they like to play through Inzi. And he's not on the floor right now.
Big offensive rebound for Kelvin Jones. Caliph Battle on the floor. The 6'5 freshman taking over for Kamar Baldwin. In the corner, Ballack's 3 is good.
You just cannot step off the three-point line if you're Butler.
10-point advantage for the Blue Jays. Mitch Ballack. As the threes have started to fall for the Let It Fly Jays, they're up by 10. Mitch Ballack has just set the Creighton record for made three-pointers by a junior in the history of the program. He's got 9-3 from deep today to pace this Creighton offense.
The unselfishness has been really impressive from Creighton. Extra pass opportunities, getting open looks.
Now for Butler, where will the offense come from? Kamar Baldwin on the bench, getting a breather right now. Badley hit a 3 earlier. Caliph Battle averaging just 3 points per game. He'll launch from deep. And the rebound tipped out to the Jays. Ballack looking to run again.
Good job by Zegarowski wedging in, helping out on the defensive glass, and he's in position to do that because he's playing way off of Aaron Thompson, so he's already in the paint.
15 to shoot. Tipped back out to Zegarowski. He's got 10 on the shot clock. Jones with a screen. Opens up the 3. That one goes down again. 4 for Marcus Zegarowski from 3.
Well, listen, Zegarowski's getting all the cheers, but Kelvin Jones just set a man-sized screen. He's made a huge impact in this game.
7 minutes for Jones, and it's 2 points, 2 rebounds, and a lot more that isn't going to show up in that box score. Battle. Tipped away, taken away. Another turnover for Butler. Zegarowski probing. Ballack trailing. 3 is off, and the rebound to Golden.
It's a long stretch to not have Baldwin or Enzi on the floor. They're both at the scorer's table.
But we wondered where the offense was going to come from. It hasn't come from anywhere. 9-0 run for the Blue Jays. On the shot clock. Thompson, baseline, no. Badley's tip not going to go. Zegarowski tips it to Ballack, and he's bumped by Bryce Golden. And that will take us to a timeout in Omaha.
Well, it's raining threes here, but it all leaves with a good screen from Kelvin Jones. Too much space, and Zegarowski rises up and knocks it down for the Blue Jays.
Lots to jump about if you're a Creighton fan right now. A 32-19 lead over Butler with 3:11 remaining in the first half. XFL action continues today on FS1 as Cardale Jones leads the undefeated DC Defenders against the Los Angeles Wildcats. It all starts next on FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
Right now, defensively, look at Zegarowski wedging in the backside and tracking down the rebound. Ballack ends up getting it, but Zegarowski was in position, Kevin, because he's playing so far off of Aaron Thompson. He's got 2 feet in the paint. It makes a difference in helping out in rebounding and plugging the lane because Creighton's an undersized team. So very important key component to this game for Creighton's defensive game plan is Zegarowski and him kind of playing free safety off of Aaron Thompson.
And on the offensive end, Creighton sharing the ball. They've been doing this all year. Their assist rate's #1 in the Big East, but 10 assists on 12 made field goals in the first half. They only had 7 in the first meeting against Butler for the entire game. Zegarowski, a little floater in the paint. Not going to go, but Christian Bishop there to clean it up. Boy, and Baldwin limping at the end of the play for Butler. And Kamar Baldwin, in the midst of an 11-0 Creighton run, walks slowly toward the Butler bench.
Taking another look at it, Baldwin battling inside.
Looked like he ran into the back of Aaron Thompson, maybe. I don't know if he stepped on his heel or what, but it looked like a collision with a teammate.
Certainly, he's going to that ankle. And he's had ankle issues in the past. He sprained his ankle against St. John's early in the conference slate in January. We'll see what happens here. Obviously, a critical stretch here for Butler.
Our Jeep halftime report coming up. As part of that, a preview of Wednesday night's Big East doubleheader here on FS1.
I think Enzi's the guy that's got to be making plays for Butler right now.
8 on the shot clock. Thompson. Here's Enzi. 5 to shoot. Going baseline. Ball knocked out of his hands and tipped to the side. That's a shot clock violation. And the Jays defend. Force another turnover for Butler. That's 9 in the first half.
The whole shot clock violation is from Ballack, but take a look at Baldwin.
Sure. He bumped Thompson, but I didn't see what would have happened with the ankle in that collision. But either way, Kamar Baldwin on the bench trying to work that out. Zegarowski with another 3. That one is good. 5 for 5 from deep, and it's 17 for number 11. drought continues for Butler. Where will the offense come from? Down 37-19. Thompson on the baseline. That won't go, and a blocking foul is called with 90 seconds until halftime. It'll be on Bishop. His first, team's third.
Zegarowski's slow to get up. Take another look at it as a hard, good drive, and just ran right into Bryce Enzi.
To the free throw line for Butler, number 2, Aaron Thompson. Shooting
And every once in a while, Aaron Thompson just needs to do that. I mean, he either needs to step in and just shoot some of these open jumpers, or he's got to make a quick, decisive, hard drive. What he can't do is catch and hold it. See if Zegarowski at least staying on the floor. Boy, Marcus Zegarowski is on fire right now.
Here comes Ballack off the second miss. And Ballack is fouled, poked in the eye, and then collides with his teammate.
Number 10, Bryce Enzi.
One of the things that is happening is Butler is overreacting to penetration right now.
Bryce Golden.
Take another look at poke there,
And then foul
for the Blue Jays.
You see a little blood on coming out of Ballack's nose.
Christian Bishop gets hit by the ball in that exchange as well. That was not how you draw it up, and that's worse for Butler now. It's gone from bad to worse. Third foul on Bryce Enzi as he sits down. Kamar Baldwin dealing with an ankle situation. Mitch Ballack with the blood flowing after that collision that drew the foul.
It's a code red for Butler. I mean, Baldwin, as you said, it slowed down. Enzi, 3 fouls. I mean, those are 2 of the 3 playmakers for Butler. I mean, Aaron Thompson's the 3rd guy, but you know, Enzi's one of those point forward guys that can make some plays.
Creighton with 9 made 3-pointers in this first half. 9 of 17. Ballack has hit 3 of them. Zegarowski 5 of 5 from behind the arc in this first half.
You know, I was going to say, right now, Butler, one of the reasons Creighton's assist numbers are so high is because Butler's collapsing a lot and over-helping on penetration. You'd rather have Creighton knocking down tough 2s right now than kick out 3s. But it starts with containing the ball and containing these handoffs and ball screens.
9 to shoot for Zegarowski. Bishop with 3 on the shot clock. Attacking. 1 to shoot. Bishop. Did he get it off in time? He did. And the rebound to Jordan Tucker. Over the last 5 minutes, Butler's been outscored 14-1. Thompson working on the baseline against Zegarowski. That'll be a foul on Zegarowski, his first. And Thompson goes to the line for 2 more.
Good movement off the ball from Thompson as, again, Zegarowski's kind of roaming off of him, looking to help. Thompson's got to find some the soft spots on the weak side of the defense to cut in. And good cut and draws a foul.
Butler hasn't hit a field goal since the 6:57 mark. Ballack with a nose full of gauze returns to the lineup.
As long as he can have that left hand feeling good and he can see the rim, he can make an impact shooting the rock.
Gonna have the mouth open a little bit more down the stretch in this game. 16-point advantage for Creighton. 6-second difference between game and shot clock.
This is Creighton's small ball lineup on the floor with Jefferson and Mahoney. Really put a lot of stress on the defense to the 3-point line.
Zegarowski into the corner. The 3 for Tyshawn Alexander falls. What a capper to a marvelous first half for the Creighton Blue Jays. Thompson hustles up. His 3 won't go. And the Jays end the half on a 17-2 run with 10 three-pointers in the first half. Marcus Zegarowski hit 5 of them. 17 for Zegarowski and a 19-point halftime lead.
Welcome to the Jeep Grand Cherokee Halftime Report. Hey everybody, I'm Mike Hill along with Steve Lavin and Casey Jacobson. We'll get you back out for the second half very shortly. More college hoops coming your way on Wednesday. It's Villanova hosts St. John's, and then it's Georgetown battling Marquette. Coverage of those games starts at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on FS1 and on the Fox Sports app. Top 3 teams in the Big East, Seton Hall, Creighton, and Nova. Seton Hall seems to be the sexy pick. Creighton, everybody's talking about right now, but is Villanova the team that's really hitting its stride at the right time? Kind of flew under the radar for the most part, didn't it?
Yeah, they really have, because there's so many compelling stories, understandably, at the top of the league with Seton Hall's outstanding season and Creighton being the surprise pick 7th, but here they are contending for the title. And Villanova, we know about Sadiq Bey, a first-round draft choice in my book. His versatility, and he's well deployed by Jay Wright in terms of taking advantage of his skill set. They look at matchups very much of an NBA flavor and exploit those matchups. His ability to back people down and take advantage of his size, but also play make off of double teams when he sees the help. And then there's a number of intriguing pieces. We know Colin Gillespie is an outstanding leader, but Jeremiah Robinson-Earl within this season, Casey, continues to improve. Justin Moore showing more confidence in terms of his ability to finish, to get in the lane, and also he's been shooting the ball so well in February. I think this is a Villanova team that can punch through to the second weekend of play, if not further.
Their freshmen have been unbelievable. Justin Moore, he didn't start for the first 2 months of the season. He earned his spot the old school way by producing in practice and in the games. And you mentioned Jeremiah Robinson-Earl. You know what I like about him? You don't have to run any plays for him. Even if he doesn't score, he still figures out a way to play good defense and get rebounds. A lot to like about this.
Reminds me of some of your Stanford guys, your teammates of the past.
Oh, yeah, Mark Madsen, Jaron and Jason Collins.
Yeah, Workman. 21 wins for Villanova this year. You know they're going back to the tournament. Meanwhile, Georgetown, don't know yet. They're kind of on the bubble, but the fact that they're even on the bubble, how impressive is that for Patrick Ewing's team this year?
I have as much respect for head coach Patrick Ewing as I do for any coach in America because, you know, teams struggle for a variety of reasons, and there can be excuses or reasons, right? There's a big difference between excuses and reasons. An excuse would be like, hey, coach, my dog ate my scouting report. A reason for a team struggling would be, hey, coach, we had 4 players transfer mid-season. Hey, coach, our 2 best players, Mac McClung and Omar Yurtseven, have been in and out of the lineup recently, and without them, they struggle to score. It's put so much pressure on Javon Blair, Mosley, and these guys are playing like 40 minutes a night, yet they are resilient, and they're still right there. I don't think they're going to have enough to make an NCAA tournament, but I love watching this whole team battle.
Yeah, Casey, I agree with you. It's almost unprecedented in terms of
never seen it.
Suspensions and the mass exodus and the injuries and the workman-like job that Patrick Ewing has done this year. High marks, really in the discussion for Conference Coach of the Year because of the adversity he's overcome, and it represents his playing career. Really, what he did in college and the pros and now in his coaching career has been consistent. He brings the hard hat, the lunch pail. He's a great teammate and no excuses. Just puts in great effort, and his team, being a reflection of him, is getting that done on the court with some surprising wins in spite of all their setbacks this year.
I gotta say, if they sneak into the tournament, do well in the Big East tournament, he's probably gonna be the Big East Coach of the Year. Definitely one of the favorites. That's all for now. Enjoy the second half, everybody.
Impressive first half showing for the home team as the Creighton Blue Jays enjoy a 40-21 lead over 21st ranked Butler at halftime. Let's take a look at our Jeep Grand Cherokee stat comparison, and 10 for 18 from 3 will jump out every single time we show something.
Absolutely, and especially when you're dealing with a team like Creighton, that's what they do. And they want to play fast, and they want to take a lot of threes, and it's exactly what they did. I think the biggest thing, outside of this one, all of these were clean looks off of an assist. You see the skip opposite, Denzel Mahoney, feet set, good penetration kick from Zegarowski to get Alexander, and then in transition off of an offensive rebound kick out to get an extra pass. And Zegarowski, who was on fire, 17 points in that first half, that's got Creighton up 19.
Creighton ended the half on a 17-2 run, up 19 at the break. Second half begins next on FS1. Second half about to get underway. Kamar Baldwin back out for Butler. He's expected to go after the ankle injury late in the first half. They need him. Down 19 as we get this second half underway. Kevin Kugler, Nick Byer, entire FS1 crew back out. Yeah, Marcus Zagorowski's coming back too. 5 for 5 from three-point land, pacing all scorers with 17 points and helping Creighton on that 17-2 run over the final 6:15 of the first half.
The Blue Jays were incredible, sharing the ball, pushing it in the open floor, and knocking down threes. 4 different guys knocked down a triple. But when Balak and Zagorowski are making threes, they are really, really hard to guard as an entire unit. And you look at Butler. Butler's got to stop turning the ball over. In the first half, just a little sloppy, 9 turnovers. And then the other thing, I think, LaVall Jordan told us before the game, you have to defend the three-point line. Butler's got to do a better job, as I guess he's going to take a seat. We'll see if he eventually gets put into the game.
Well, Nick, to your point, without him, yes, there's offense, but defending the three-point line suffers without Kamar Baldwin out there.
Absolutely, because everything starts with guarding the ball. All defenses start with that. And Baldwin's one of your best defenders, him and Aaron Thompson. So, these Bulldog defenders got to be locked in and containing penetration, because that's where it all gets messy when you're taking on the Blue Jays.
Creighton's largest halftime lead in Big East play since they led Butler by 20 in January of 2017. And we've just been informed by Butler's staff that Kamar Baldwin is out for the remainder of the game. He will not return for the Butler Bulldogs. A giant loss as they try to come back from 19 down on the road. Golden rejected by Christian Bishop and thrown to the Butler bench.
Well, the one thing you can believe is that Kamar Baldwin's going to stay engaged. He's not going to daydream over there and get all caught in his own feelings. He's going to stay talking, stay leading his group. But certainly, we watched him warm up to start the second half. He was not moving well.
So end a streak for Kamar Baldwin of 14 straight games in double figures. In fact, he's been in doubles in every Big East game played this year for Butler. That will end today as Golden goes back to the left side of the rim and lays it in.
And I think Butler's got to be an inside-out team even more. It's got to be Enzi and Golden making plays in the post, and you can have that be the way you manufacture kick-out threes.
And Bishop is fouled by Bryce Golden. And remember, Golden playing also out there as Bryce Enzi. Enzi playing with 3 personal fouls. So we'll keep an eye on that situation as well. He got his 3rd late in the first half. But if you're going to play inside out, Enzi's going to have to play a role.
Absolutely. And I think that's where the ball's got to go.
Alexander was quiet in the first half, just 3 points. Tough fadeaway, little strong rebound, secured by Damian Jefferson, and that'll be a foul.
And that's what Jefferson and Bishop have emerged in, making plays like that. The hustle plays, even Kelvin Jones as well. Offensive rebounds, loose balls, setting screens. Guys have really taken pride in that. Jefferson still grimacing a little bit as he took a shot to the thigh.
Zagorowski around the Bishop screen. And that'll be a foul on Badley. Alexander curling, and Badley had a hold of him. That'll be his first already. 13 foul.
It's hard. You try to fight through those screens, try to do it without fouling. It's challenging, but again, Butler, I think one of the things they need to try to do in this second half is make Creighton be a team that's taking tough twos, not kick out threes.
Alexander, the down under great duress.
What did he get to the apex of his jump quickly?
Like you and I working in both duress and apex in that made that even more special.
Absolutely.
Enzi on the baseline. Feeding it to Badley. He'll back it out now. And for Butler, 6 on the shot clock as they regather. Thompson finds a crease. Can't get it to go. Enzi with the offensive rebound. Stripped by Bishop. Jays on the run with numbers. Balak leading for Bishop. This Creighton team is hitting on all cylinders right now. One of the 10 hottest teams in all of college basketball. Thompson, 5 to shoot again, penetrates, floater, rims out, Zegarowski the rebound. Eyes up as he brings it up the floor, cross-court pass, Bishop to Alexander. Jefferson, that three won't go. Christian Bishop, offensive rebound, and he threw it off the back of the backboard.
I've just been sitting patiently waiting for this replay. I mean, lob upstairs, Bishop gets it. And this bounce pass from Ballack, no look. Bishop hammers it down. Look at this. Woo. Wow.
Just showing off now.
These guys are something special in the open floor.
Up 21 on number 21. A remarkable stretch for Creighton as they look for their 5th straight win, and a turnover for Butler. Turnover number 10 for the Bulldogs.
And it's just quite a riddle to solve if you're that guy right there. You just have multiple guys that can shoot, multiple guys that can pass, multiple guys that can handle the ball. It's just so hard. And when you combine all that tangible stuff with the intangible confidence and swagger that Creighton has right now, you got yourself a dangerous team.
Alexander in traffic. He'll go to the line after Bryce Golden picks up his 3rd foul. Already the 4th team foul on Butler in this second half.
Creighton has a drill at practice called Nova jump stops. And that's that drill getting applied from practice to a game there. 2-foot jump stop, shot fake, foul, get to the line.
Not a bad guy to have at the line either.
No.
85% on the year for Tyshawn Alexander.
And what makes this Creighton team special is, I mean, Alexander's been scoring the ball and playing at a high level. And then here this afternoon, he's not the guy scoring the rock, but you got multiple guys that can hurt you. So, you know, when you're taking on Creighton, usually there are teams you can zero in on one guy, and if you take away him, you feel pretty good about it. It's hard with all the weapons for Creighton.
Well, 14 times this year, Zegarowski, Ballack, and Alexander have been in double figures in the same game. They're 13-1 in those games. Almost unstoppable when that trio puts double figures on the board.
Yeah, those three guys are the engine and the heartbeat of this thing. They're the leaders. Their games complement each other. And they're clicking on all cylinders. It is quite a show.
Thompson at the line. And for Thompson, 2 for 5 at the line. And for Butler, the problems compounded by the injury to Kamar Baldwin. If you're joining us late first half in the midst of a 17-2 half-ending run for Creighton. Kamar Baldwin bumped into Aaron Thompson, did something to his ankle. He is out the remainder of the game. And if you took one guy on the roster for Butler and said, this is the guy they can ill afford to lose, that's the guy it's going to be.
When you talk about just sheer value to a team, I'm not sure there's a guy that's more valuable to their team in the Big East than Kamar Baldwin is to Butler.
Just does so much. He's smart, knows where he's supposed to be, makes good cuts, makes good decisions, defends, scores.
He's clutch. He's made a lot of big-time plays at the end of games.
Jefferson to Zegarowski. The 3 falls again. He's 6 for 6. Tying a career high with his 6th make.
And this is against an elite defender in Aaron Thompson, too. This is impressive.
Tucker from the elbow. He's got his first pair.
He's been too quiet, especially with Baldwin on the bench. Talking about a guy that's a former top 40 recruit, Duke transfer. He's got to start to be more aggressive offensively.
Zegarowski trying to work against Thompson again. Alexander attacking badly. Little up and under. The lean won't go. but Alexander works his way to the line once more, and that takes us to immediate timeout.
Well, the hottest guy in Omaha, Marcus Zegarowski, lining one up and knocking it down, can really shoot it off the bounce. Oh, Creighton here in Omaha.
FS1 College Hoops is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. The Jays are doing a lot of running in this one. 49-26. You're going to want more cowbell. You're also going to want more Marcus Zegarowski from three.
This guy, he had 32 points on Texas Tech back in November. And you could see that it was in him. And his offensive display here this afternoon has been a sight to behold. 6 of 6 from three. And doing it in a variety of ways. Off the bounce, off the ball screens, off a penetration kick. 7 of 10 from the floor, 20 points. Dude right there is feeling it.
Came in averaging 17 points per game in this 4-game winning streak, shooting almost 60% from the floor in that span. Hard to believe he's improved on that today. 7 of 10 from the floor and 6 of 6 from three. Meanwhile, Tyshawn Alexander getting his points at the line. He's just 1 of 5 from the floor, but now 3 for 3 at the stripe.
Done a good job getting fouled, driving in, setting his feet, seeking out contact. You know, the next evolution of Alexander's game was, can you still make an impact when you're not making shots, whether it's defensively, rebounding, or finding a way to get to the free throw line? And Alexander has done a good job taking that progression to his game.
Golden inside trying to dislodge Jones. He gets the bucket, and he'll go to the line for one more. Excellent work by the sophomore Bryce Golden.
I still think that's Butler's advantage in this game. Just Golden and Enzi posting up, making plays, as Jones did a good job walling up initially, but pretty good job planting that left pivot foot and finding an opportunity.
And McDermott gets the offensive rebound for Butler. A 4, maybe 5-point trip if they can convert. McDermott on the 2 is good. It's a 4-point trip down the floor. What's the saying? The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Down 21 on the road.
The journey of crawling back into it starts with getting stops on this end.
Jefferson into the paint, rims out, and a foul is going to be called on Kelvin Jones, trying to reach around Bryce Golden. A couple of quick fouls on Kelvin Jones will send him to the bench, and Denzel Mahoney will check back in.
It's one of the biggest issues for Jones and Christian Bishop.
I hope he's staying in, by the way.
Just a little foul problem. He'll hang in there. Maybe Jefferson will take a seat, but Jones has improved in that regard, but learning how to play without fouling is certainly an area that continues to be an issue.
Graduate transfer from Idaho State. He led the nation in fouls per minute a year ago. This time an offensive foul on Golden, and that's number 4 on Bryce Golden. 3 on Enzi, 4th on Golden. The bench thin with Kamar Baldwin out the remainder of the game with an ankle injury. And LaVall Jordan looking at that bench and not finding a whole lot of options right now.
That's the right play call. This is just an ISO. You know, Jones just picked up 2 fouls. Golden's got it rolling. And pretty good courage defensively. Kevin, when you pick up 2 personal fouls, sometimes you're not too eager to set your feet and take a charge, but Jones does anyways.
Zegarowski around the Jones screen. 7 for 7 from 3.
I mean, this is unbelievable. Just refusing the ball screen. You start trying to creep over that ball screen, and Zegarowski makes you pay. This is unbelievable shooting performance.
Thompson can't get it from point-blank range. Jones the rebound. Where's Zegarowski? Balak in the corner to Alexander. He'll hit the 3. He knew it was good. He started to look at the crowd before his 200th career three-pointer dropped. And the Jays with a 27-point lead and a Butler timeout.
Look at Zegarowski catching Thompson, peeking over that ball screen, and drills a triple. And then Balak, the great unselfish kick. It's all Creighton here this afternoon.
57-30, Creighton by 26. 7. You know, TV 101, when you look at the book and it says, how do you produce or direct or do TV? It says, coming out of a break, when a team's hot, you show the highlights. We don't have enough time to show you the threes that Creighton has hit in 13 of 22. If we showed you all 13 of those threes, we'd be then signing off because the game would be over at the end of that.
This is jaw-dropping right now. In terms of the three-point shooting, the passing, the unselfishness in transition. That cat right there, Marcus Zegarowski, 23 points, 7 for 7 from 3. And again, he's doing this against a guy in Aaron Thompson, who I think is going to be on the all-defense team in the Big East. This is remarkable.
LaVall Jordan has said of Aaron Thompson, he's one of the best I've ever coached as an on-ball defender. When he's not in the lineup, you notice it.
Yes.
And Creighton has just erased Butler's defense today. Tucker, the three is off. The rebound to Alexander. And the Jays started up again.
And it's really difficult, obviously, for Butler to do this without Kamar Baldwin, who has not played in the second half. And Butler's already a team that, you know, offense can be a struggle for them at times. And when you remove their catalyst, star, stud playmaker, it gets really challenging.
Oh, Zegarowski, a little hesitation, and then the blow-by for 2.
Oh, and the guy's made 7 threes. I suppose you got to crowd him a little bit on the arc, and he can do that. A little change of speed, bucket.
Thompson, nice bounce. Enzi with the finish. Blue Jays up 27 at home. Alec off the handoff. The lob inside to Jones with an easy 2. Every single thing Creighton does is working right now.
Yeah. Transition threes, and then the lob to the rim is the other staple in Creighton's offense. And the reason it's open is because you're attached to the shooters on the three-point line, so there's space inside.
Caleb Battle. Tough matchup for the freshman. Battle having to work against one of the better defenders, maybe the best defender in the backcourt for Creighton and Tyshawn Alexander. And that 3 from McDermott out of bounds on the air ball. He's 2 for 5 from the floor, and a timeout on the floor in Omaha. Creighton rolling at home. A statement for the rest of the Big East. 61-32 Creighton with 11:53 remaining in the second half here on FS1. Wednesday on FS1, it's a Big East doubleheader. First, St. John's battles 12th-ranked Villanova at 6:30 Eastern. Then Georgetown looks to slow down Player of the Year candidate Marcus Howard and 19th-ranked Marquette. Both of these great matchups are also available on the Fox Sports app. And now, Nick Baugh getting ahead of the game.
Yeah.
The votes are in.
Yeah.
Nick Baugh's all-defense team. What do you have?
I think there's some elite guys on this 5, but these are the guys that have separated themselves. 2 of them are here this afternoon. Tyshawn Alexander, Aaron Thompson, both those guys elite on the ball. Quincy McKnight as well. Look at those guys guarding each other. Sadiq Bey, very versatile, and then the rim protector, Romaro Gill. Those 5 guys stingy on the defensive end of the floor.
Appreciate Tyshawn Alexander and Aaron Thompson standing together so it would look good for our camera shot. Always appreciate the participation and the cooperation. 13 to shoot for Tyshawn Alexander and the Blue Jays. Bishop. Alexander hoists the 3 and hits the 3. A season high 14 made threes for the Blue Jays.
Not only the rest of the Big East, but the rest of the country's got to be watching this going, oh boy. And this is one of the hottest teams in the country.
Bishop on the run, the former high school point guard. Showing his point guard skills. He's bumped and fouled by Tucker, his second.
You make one mistake, go under a screen, help for a second, don't talk, and communicate a switch. They'll make you pay. And then the versatility of guys like Bishop, again, was a point guard at one point in high school, grew about 11 or 12 inches, and now is still playing out of position at 6'7", having to play the 5. But Creighton has flipped that element of being undersized into a strength for the team, where they've been able to get out and run, space the floor.
When you grow 12 inches during your high school career, it takes school shopping every year to a whole new level. I mean, you've got to just resize every single year when you go out for that preschool season school shopping. Not easy for Mom.
You gotta do it like twice a year. New wardrobe. He's underappreciated, Bishop is. I mean, he has really settled in and started his role.
Tucker leaves for Enzi. And Enzi trying to weave around Bishop. Degree of difficulty matching the number on Enzi's jersey there.
And Butler's, you got to keep on competing here. This is a proud program that this hasn't happened to them very often as Alexander gets another one to go down.
Well, you can tell he's starting to feel it too. He's got 12 backpedaling as he let that one go.
But it all started, he was a little slow in the first half, but he got to the free throw line twice. That's just like the next step in his game and finding his rhythm.
Trying to save that one. It's tipped out of bounds. It'll stay on this end of the floor. Well, sometimes, you hear this all the time from shooters, it doesn't matter how the ball goes in or where it goes in. If it goes in at the foul line, wherever it happens, it can sometimes snap you out of an early foul.
Yes. I think sometimes fans maybe hear that and think, oh, that's just a tired cliche. It matters. I mean, as a shooter, you get to the line, you see the ball go through the hoop twice, just get into a rhythm and a flow.
Enzi saddled with foul trouble in the first half, had 3 in that first half. Here's Golden playing with 4, challenged inside, the ball stripped. And 2 shots coming for Bryce Enzi.
Blue Jay foul number 34, Denzel.
Go on Denzel Mahoney for the Blue Jays.
That is the 4th Blue Jay team foul. For Butler, it's number 10, Bryce Enzi, to shoot 2.
It's for Butler. There's a gut punch a couple nights ago in Jersey. I mean, you battle back, you tie the game. And then Sandro Mamukalashvili gets a tip in with 0.6 seconds left off of a baseline out of bounds to win at the buzzer. That can be hard to recover from. And you got to pick yourself up off the mat and come to Omaha and play the hottest team in the conference.
One of the hottest teams in the country right now. This Creighton team about to win their 9th out of 10. Christian Bishop providing plenty of highlights at the rim.
Greg McDermott's pressed all the right buttons with different sets at times. He balances that of calling sets with also letting guys just push it and play with freedom. That's a hard thing to balance as a coach.
Creighton is doubling up Butler with 9:35 to play. Badley, the 3 short. Ballack has it, tipped away. Badley gets it back. That floater won't go. And Golden there. Can't get it. 3 opportunities, nothing doing for Butler.
Good decision by Mahoney, understanding that's not his role to push it in transition.
Jefferson, 10 on the shot clock, muscling his way into the paint, and a miss for Creighton. Haven't seen many of those. That's just the 4th missed shot in the second half. And a turnover. Enzi trying to feed post to post and couldn't get it. So for Butler, yet another turnover. That's 13 for the Bulldogs. Creighton had made 7 straight before that last miss.
Yeah, and again, you're just joining us. Kamar Baldwin has not played in this second half. Sprained his ankle, hurt his ankle towards the end of the first half, and certainly it's going to be hard when your star's not out there on the road.
It's something Butler's had to deal with on and off throughout the year with their roster. Aaron Thompson has been in and out with injuries. Of course, they lost Christian David for the year with the injury. Now Kamar Baldwin banged up. Derek Smith's not playing today. He's missed the last couple with a knee injury. Everybody has injuries. Those are some key guys that Laval Jordan has had to try to manage. No more key than Kamar Baldwin on the bench in the second half. Thompson around the screen from Golden. Shot clock winding down to 5. McDermott will try from deep, and he'll hit. It's a big bucket for McDermott. He had struggled early. He's got 8. Sharif Mitchell. Nice little crossover. Got a good look. Just off. Now Aaron Thompson on the baseline. The reverse is short. Golden battling for another rebound. And a foul is going to be called. And a timeout here in Omaha after the foul. All Creighton, the Blue Jays, staking their claim to a high seed in the postseason. Total dominance in Omaha today, 70-38. Creighton with 7:34 remaining in the second half. Yes, dominant offensively, but also dominant on the defensive side.
Absolutely. Held Butler to 36% shooting from the floor and just been active with their hands. Again, Creighton's undersized, so they got to use their speed and quickness to their advantage on the defensive end of the floor. A lot of traffic every time Butler was in the paint. You got 4 or 5 white jerseys stripping down onto the basketball, blocking shots, getting steals. And Butler 13 turnovers. So for as much as Creighton's shot the ball and played well offensively, defense has been solid as well.
13 Butler turnovers, 15 points off those turnovers for the Blue Jays.
Well, and the reason the defense is huge is because you take a look at
foul going to be on Creighton's Kelvin Jones.
Take another charge, but the thing that's always huge for Creighton is how often can they get into the open floor in transition? And getting defensive stops gets them out in transition. Forcing live ball turnovers gets them out in transition.
And a whistle before the inbound. Foul on Mitch Ballock.
Team foul. Butler is in the bonus.
And that'll mean a 1-and-1 opportunity with 7:28 to go.
There's a friendly conversation between Lavelle Jordan and Greg McDermott. If there's one thing coaches can find common ground on, it's commiserating over officials.
Yep, exactly. Yep, they all can share their pain. One more for Sean McDermott. They're still talking. If only it was all access. All right, hear what that conversation's about. Creighton participated in that earlier in the year in January. Suffocating Butler defense on the inbound. Jays break the pressure. Ballock leaving for Jefferson.
Good job by Mitchell to stay poised in the trap and then have multiple Blue Jays coming back to the basketball to help him out.
Jones nowhere to go with that one. Shot clock at 5 for Jefferson and an offensive foul on Jones. That's his 4th.
Boy, McDermott got rocked.
Offensive foul on number 43, 8th team foul.
And Jones is the best screener on the Blue Jay roster. This is a shoulder right into McDermott. Oh, is this a collision?
Ooh. McDermott's still shaking that one off a little bit. Already they're down Kamar Baldwin, who injured his ankle late in the first half and not playing the rest of this game. Thompson, the lob inside. Bishop there to break it up. Good recovery by Christian Bishop to get back and get hands on that, but then Henry Badley with the steal. Thompson to a cutting McDermott. The reverse not going to go, punched out to Jefferson, and now Ballock into the front court. Denzel Mahoney poked free by Badley. McDermott gets it back after the Mahoney swat.
Boy, Mahoney saved a layup. Batting that ball up in the air.
John Michael Malloy coming to the scorer's table, the freshman for Butler. 3 up and off. Long 3 from Caleb Battle. Butler 4 of 15 from three-point land. Jefferson to the foul line. Bishop's tip won't go, and McDermott with the rebound. Both teams have gone a little cold. McDermott on the run. That won't go on a foul on the Bulldogs. And it'll march to the other end of the floor. And is that on Golden? If it is, Golden has fouled out. And he has indeed fouled out of this one.
Tough for Golden ends. He just couldn't quite get rolling for foul trouble. And that's one of the things that that small ball can do to you. Get your bigs out of sorts a little bit. And foul. And Enzi had 3 personal fouls in the first half. Golden fouling out.
Creighton starting to go deeper into the bench now. Jalen Wyndham, the freshman from Indianapolis, out of Ben Davis High School, on the floor for the first time today. Also Jet Canfield, freshman from Topeka, Kansas, out there for the first time today. Christian Bishop, a career-high 3 steals, a career-high 3 blocks. And Bishop now with 16 points as well. Excellent afternoon for Christian Bishop. His scoring high 17 against Oral Roberts.
The bigs for the Blue Jays have been really productive.
That was a part of the game where Butler felt they had an advantage going inside, and Creighton really negated that advantage as Badley hits his second 3 of the ballgame.
It was an area that Greg McDermott was really concerned about, was the front line for Butler and playing through the post, and Creighton did a good job of forcing a lot of post turnovers early by digging down into the post with multiple defenders.
Kelvin Jones had a real effective first half.
His stat line isn't going to jump off the box score, but Jones really did a good job getting second chance opportunities and screening hard, bringing energy to the game.
Bishop with an opportunity here for a new scoring high if he can hit a couple of free throws. He's tied it with 17. And you know Greg McDermott loves that backcourt, but I'll bet you the comments after this game start with the front court. Because that was really where this team was challenged in this matchup. He knew it, and they've responded.
Those guys, Bishop and Jefferson and Mahoney, you know, the guards get a lot of love and pub, but the reason Creighton's hot is because I think the full complement of the rotation has all stepped up, most importantly that front line.
Thompson inside, Bishop was there, John Michael Malloy, a wild one over the rim, and Sharif Mitchell able to secure it. Canfield on the run to Wyndham.
Wyndham can really shoot the ball.
The 3 won't go for Mitchell as Battle starts it up for Butler. Bulldogs down 30 on the road. This one was over early. The Jays dominating from the jump. Marcus Zagorowski 7 of 7 from 3 with 25 points. Extra pass to Bishop, and Bishop's got a new high with 19 points. And a timeout taken by the Blue Jays. And a standing ovation from the crowd in Omaha. 75-43, a 32-point performance for the Jays at home.
Well, when you guys are done with basketball, we've got XFL football coming your way as the DC Defenders, undefeated and led by MVP candidate Cardell Jones, hit the road for the first time this year to take on the LA Wildcats, who are led by Josh Johnson, longtime NFL veteran. It all comes your way from Los Angeles just as soon as you're done with hoops action. Kevin?
Kurt, thanks so much. 75-43 our score here with Creighton dominating. 4:02 remaining in this second half. The Jays sending a little message. March is when they will hit the court next with 3 more games in conference play. They're going to enter March right now no worse than 1 game behind the Seton Hall Pirates with 3 games left in the Big East. And they play Seton Hall the final regular season game for each team here in Omaha.
You start peeking down the road a couple weeks, and there could be a lot on the line on March 7th, final day of the regular season with the Pirates and the Blue Jays.
Well, Villanova playing that same day. Don't sleep on the Wildcats. I saw them yesterday in our game on Fox, and they look like they're hitting their stride right now for Jay Wright, a young team that may be a little ahead of schedule at this point in the year.
Still a team that beat Kansas in December.
That win looks good.
It looks decent right now. And you said it. I mean, Jay Wright's just, for the first time in a handful of years, doesn't have a Josh Hart, a Jalen Brunson, a Phil Booth. You know, it's got a lot of young pups back there in the backcourt having to take things over, and those guys are really starting to trend in the right direction.
And you sprinkle in a Colin Gillespie and Sadiq Bey, and you feel pretty good as the ball's knocked loose right into the hands of Badley, and Badley with 8 points now for Butler.
There's nothing like sitting for 37 minutes and then getting full court pressed immediately when you come in the game.
You sound as if you speak from experience.
That's happened to me a few times.
Jordan Scurry having to scurry out of that trap as he kicks it to Wyndham in the corner. Wyndham hits the three. Everybody gets a three today in Omaha. 15 have fallen for the Blue Jays.
Got to feel good. Wyndham from Indianapolis. Again, a very talented shooter.
Somebody who's really going to help this program in the years to come as Sharif Mitchell picks a pocket. Mitchell on the run, end to end. That won't go. And a rebound underneath for Nick Zile. And a foul sending the freshman from Kansas City to the line. Thompson picks up his second.
Aaron Thompson looks like he fell right on that wrist that's taped.
My goodness, he did. And Nick, that is another sign that no Butler fan wants to see at the end of a 30-point game. Is a guy as critically important as Aaron Thompson down the stretch for Butler's chances, not only the rest of the regular season, but in the Big East tournament and in the NCAA tournament, because, well, this is going to be a bad loss. This is not a bad loss as far as the record goes or the resume goes. It's just a lopsided loss. This Butler team's going to the NCAA tournament.
Absolutely. It's a team that started 15-1, and the only loss was by 1 point at Baylor. So this is a team that's absolutely going to the NCAA tournament. But boy, you hope Aaron Thompson's okay. You hope Kamar Baldwin's okay. Because sometimes in basketball, Kevin, you run into a buzzsaw. You know, I mean, it's just the way Creighton was shooting it, the way they're rolling right now. There aren't too many teams that would have come into this building and won today.
Mitchell, the skip, and he skips it into the bench. When you mention those guys coming back for Butler, Nick, the schedule lightens considerably for the Bulldogs after today. DePaul at home, St. John's at home, and then they close the schedule at Xavier. All three of those games, while never easy to win in the Cintas Center, but all three are games that Butler will go into feeling like they're on equal or better footing with those three foes.
No doubt. And so you always want to try to just make sure you want to win games, but you want to be playing good basketball.
Wyndham with a couple of errant passes, and for Laval Jordan, you want to get out of this game with no further damage. And you want to reset over a week to get ready for Saturday.
Huge that you almost got a de facto bye week here, because this team needs to get healthy and get on the practice floor a little bit. Big thing is making sure the guys are healthy.
Foul on number 4, Sharif Mitchell.
Sharif Mitchell with the foul. John Michael Malloy going to the line. 2 for 2 on the year for Malloy. And Aaron Thompson with that wrist wrapped again. The last month has been just rugged for Aaron Thompson. The wrist injury knocked him out of 3 games. He missed the Georgetown loss on February 15 with a concussion. Now you add Kamar Baldwin to the mix of injuries with the ankle. And you're talking about the entirety of the backcourt is banged up. The best news for Butler is they don't play again until Saturday.
So you really hope Aaron Thompson's okay.
Wyndham, the 3, pinballs out. Zile looking for the rebound, and it's kept alive for the moment, but Jordan Scurry lost it out of bounds. Greg McDermott looking on, about to win number 22, about to pick up the 11th win of the year in Big East play as Tucker's three off. Rebound for Malloy.
You watch this Creighton team play right now, and then being at practice yesterday, there is a confidence and an energy around this basketball team that is palpable. And basketball is a game that's about confidence, and this group's feeling great about themselves right now.
Well, they're peaking at the right time. They've never won a Big East regular season or tournament championship. Their last conference title came in 2013. It was their last year as a member of the Missouri Valley Conference. So you look at this Creighton team, and you wonder if this isn't the year. This team seems to have everything it needs in this league this year to win perhaps a regular season championship. A game behind Seton Hall, but they've beaten the Hall once, and they've got them in the last weekend of the year.
Put themselves in position to potentially win a conference title, which is something that every group talks about from the moment they get together and start practicing.
Henry Badley, the leading scorer today for Butler with 13, just his second game in doubles this year. For the Jays, after this game today, now their schedule does not lighten as quite to the same level as we saw with Butler. You've got St. John's coming up, then Georgetown, and then that date on Fox with Seton Hall before the Big East tournament.
Obviously, the tough one is the Seton Hall squad coming to town on the 7th. Boy, is this group really, really playing good basketball.
Certainly an impressive showing today. 81-57, Creighton over Butler. Malloy, a little two-hand flush to get back on the scoreboard. And the final 18 seconds of this one will wind off and cap a remarkable afternoon for the home team. The Creighton Blue Jays, their 5th win over a top 25 team this season. A school record, their 4th this month. And the month of February closes with a resounding 81-59 win over the Butler Bulldogs. We'll take a quick timeout and return with more from Omaha in a moment. Creighton wins at 81-59. Back in a bit on FS1.
Saturday. Number 12, Villanova takes on Providence. And number 19, Marquette and Marcus Howard battle number 16, Seton Hall and Miles Powell. A Big East doubleheader tips off Saturday at 11:30 Eastern on Fox. 16 of the premier clubs from CONCACAF battle to be the last one standing. Atlanta United
Martinez, sensational!
takes on FC Motagua, the Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League. Tuesday at 8 Eastern on FS1.
Mom and Dad, Zach and Amanda Zagorowski, looking on as their son led the way for Creighton in the 81-59 win. He had 25 points, went 7 of 7 from three-point land. XFL action continues next here on FS1 as Cardale Jones leads the undefeated DC Defenders against the Los Angeles Wildcats. It all starts next on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. Moments away from the XFL. But Nick Ma first is standing by with the Creighton head coach, Greg McDermott.
All right, Coach Mack, I don't even know where to begin. You guys were pretty darn good on both sides. Let's start with the three-point line. You guys make 15 threes. What did you feel like was the most important thing beyond just knocking down shots that led to the open shot?
Well, I mean, our ball movement was good, and I thought we finally got our pace established. We were able to get a few things in transition, but, you know, the threat of Christian Bishop and Calvin Jones getting behind that defense, somebody's got to tag those guys or you're going to give up a dunk. But I just thought our guys really moved the basketball, and, you know, we were pretty locked in and pretty complete tonight on both ends of the floor.
Aaron Thompson, one of the best on-ball defenders in the league, and Marcus Zagorowski had himself a heck of a game. 7 for 7 from the three-point line. What'd you like most about Zagorowski this afternoon?
Well, we thought at their place that our ball screen offense, we weren't physical enough on our ball screens, and our guards didn't really do a very good job of coming off tight to the ball screen. And we thought if we could do that, we could create some space, either for the roller, for the shooter coming out of the corner, or for the guy with the ball in his hands. And Marcus made the right read. If they're going to back off like that and not step up on that ball screen, he's supposed to shoot that shot.
Guys did a really good job, active, digging on the post, forced a lot of turnovers early. Defensively, what did you like about the execution in your defensive game plan?
Well, they're really connected, and we decided to play the post one-on-one, try to front and keep it out of there the best we could. But the guys flying around on that backside, I thought Christian Bishop was terrific. Kelvin Jones came in, gave us a great lift, and when you can guard the post players one-on-one like that, it allows us to stay closer to some of their great shooters.
You guys are playing really good basketball right now. You've won 9 of your last 10 games here. What do you think's been the key to things peaking right now for your group?
Well, they've just stuck together, Nick, and they've been connected really from the start. And we felt like when we got Denzel Mahoney eligible that it was going to take a little bit of time for everybody to settle into the change in our lineup. Denzel, but probably even more importantly, the rest of the team. And we've been able to grow with that lineup and with the rotation we have right now. And everybody understands their role. They're champions in that role right now. And, guys don't care if they score. You got a guy that's as good a shooter as Mitch Ballack, and he's making the right pass every time. So, that unselfishness, I think, breeds unselfishness. And we're fortunate to have a bunch of guys who only care for whether or not we win or lose.
I'd be remiss to not talk about Kelvin Jones and Christian Bishop. I thought those two guys really made an impact in different ways. Everybody talks about the guards, and deservedly so, but the frontline guys have really emerged as well. What are you seeing from those guys?
Well, I think the most improved part of our team from the start of conference season to now is Christian Bishop's efficiency within our offense. Catching at the top of the key, making decisions, when to fake handoff, when to throw that backdoor pass. And then he gets behind the defense for some dunks, and he gets out and runs in transition. And then he's really the catalyst to our defense. It starts with ball screen defense, and he gets out. We are able to take a guy like Baldwin and make it really difficult, make him give it up. If you don't have someone that can move like Bishop, and then Kelvin came in and do a good job, you're not able to do that defensively.
Well, you guys were outstanding. Congratulations.
Thanks, Nick. I appreciate it.
You got it. Kevin.
Nick, Coach, thanks so much. Christian Bishop, what a day. 19.7 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 blocks, and 3 steals. Marcus Zegarowski, the 71st player in Division I men's basketball history to be perfect from three-point range with 7 or more attempts. I know there's a lot there, but what happened? Zegarowski was 7 of 7 from 3, leading the way with 25 points. Jays shoot 50% from the floor and 58% from behind the arc. A dominant performance today for the Creighton Blue Jays, 81-59. And Nick, the Jays right in the mix with just a few games left in conference play.
The hottest team in the conference stayed hot here this afternoon. Shared the ball, shot it well. Defensively, we're locked in. Just a really impressive performance from Creighton.
1 game back of Seton Hall. 3 to go for those two teams who meet in the final game of the regular season. Villanova lurking as well. We've got a great finish in the Big East Conference to the regular season. That's going to do it from Omaha, Nebraska. An 81-59 win for the 15th-ranked Creighton Blue Jays. Now to Kurt Menefee and our Fox Sports crew with XFL football. So long from Omaha.